and welcome to the 1%ers Performance Podcast, coming to you from Combermary and Gadigal country in Australia. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and we acknowledge the First Nations people of these lands. This is the podcast exploring how small changes make a big impact. I'm Mario Buchs, and together with my co-host Tim Buxton, we'll discover the unseen edges of peak performance to help athletes, teams and leaders unlock their exponential growth. And now, it's time to dive in and find the 1% that changes everything. Hello, everybody. Hello, Tim.
Hey, Mario. Good to see you, mate. Looking very colourful today.
Oh, we want to keep people smiling. That's the main thing here. We promised in our last podcast we'll have a big announcement to make. And we're looking for you. Yeah, you, ultrarunner. We're looking for ultrarunners who are going to come with us. At this moment in time, we have 5 spots left. More about exactly how to get involved in a little bit. But even if you don't think you're an ultra runner and you want to run 100 miles over 4 days through rugged terrain, up and down mountains in the heat, there's a lot of ways you can get involved. You can run this at home. You can take this to your schools. You can get everybody involved. Even if it's 1 kilometer a day, it doesn't really matter. You can donate with, anything you can donate. This is going to an absolutely fantastic cause. We will make sure you will see live or recorded, depending what time you wake up in the morning, where exactly the money that you've donated will go. Families, schools, children, everything that's important to us, waymakers. So what are waymakers? Waymakers are the refugees that had to flee, and this is so close to Tim's heart, and I really, really don't want to take away the spotlight here, because this is all about you returning to a place that is very, very deep embedded in your heart. So I hand it over to you, Tim.
Wow. Well, thanks, Mario. I really appreciate that introduction. You so explained so wonderfully the purpose behind what this is all about. This is about waymakers. This is about those that had to do a 100-mile journey fleeing for their lives, and so I want to take you on a little bit of a journey right now on what this really is all about. And like Mario said, the tangible ways that you can get involved. And so without further ado, introducing the IRAQ100. It's 100 miles. This, Mario, is one of those distances in the ultra running community that is a real milestone. It works out to be about 168 kilometers, so a little over 100 miles, right on that distance from the very city of Mosul, which was the epicenter of where ISIS' reign of terror in Iraq took place. And it's 100 million stories because there are over 100 million displaced people in the world today that have had to leave their home. And on average, they spend 17 years in exile. And for the lucky ones that get to rebuild their lives in a country like Australia, the organization we started, You Belong, gets to help them rebuild their lives and continue to care for those that are still stuck in limbo. And it's $100,000 that we're looking to raise in this campaign to continue the work that we're doing. But for me, it's a real personal journey because I'll be going back to the place where I spent over 3.5 years living and serving in the wake of the ISIS terror with my family. So it's a return. It's not just a run, a grueling run, which I am knee deep. I won't say neck deep because we haven't got there yet, but I'm knee deep in training thanks to Mario. And it's one road back from Mosul to this city of Soran on the Iranian border. And here's the cool thing. We're going to take you there with us. Mario will be coaching me and leading the support crew along the way. And we're going to take you every step of the journey. We want you to experience in glimpse what the courageous journey that these waymakers took when they fled for their very lives.
2014, a relatively unknown rebel group stormed across the Syrian and Iraqi border. Infamously known as ISIS, the world took notice as they went on a violent campaign.
"8 months here in Iraq, and we feel like we belong."
So there it is. That is just a glimpse of the place, the beauty, the raw beauty of this part of the world, the birthplace of civilization. The journey will take 4 grueling days from the Nineveh Plains to the Soran Valley, surrounded by the Zagros Mountains on the Iranian border. So it is quite an adventure. And like I said, we're inviting you to come with us, because there, as any ultra runner knows, you, and Mario, you can speak to this, you can't crew and run a journey alone. You need people to support you. You are running a 100-kilometer run just this coming weekend down in the Blue Mountains. So I want to kind of dive into that right now, and why it's important that I'm able to take you with me on this journey, this personal journey of going back to meet the families that we first helped, and to, in solidarity, run their journey on foot.
Look, it takes a village, you know. We've spoken about this, and I find it always very important to bring in my friends and family on any of these endeavors. I've had the same crew for all my big races. And and I think this is the same, because they get as much out of it as we do if we run it or whatever it is with our involvement. And crew and this, just the support is just fantastic, you know, to have, you know, and that just gives you more reasons to do well in any of the race or any of the adventures and endeavors we embark on, you know. So especially this one here, this one will go deep, especially from an emotional perspective. You know, we don't even know how you're going to be when you enter when you start. So this is something else we've spoken about, and we need to not control it, but kind of be mindful of it. And this will go for a lot of other people as well. So, this has to sink in first, because this is quite the announcement, and this is quite a unique adventure. This is not just some BBC or ITV or ABC news thingy with, a lot of money behind them. This is something we start from scratch. On a whiteboard, this idea came up when you and I spoke, and this is not as easy as it looks for us to organize, and people will understand this, of course, like with all the endeavors and projects. So this is a big project, big adventure, but it'll certainly need a team, and obviously later in the slides you'll see what's involved and what people will get out of this. So yeah, it takes a village. I always repeat this. I love this. It's what it is, it takes a village to bring up children. That's how the good old days were. It was a lot safer, and the same thing we have to ensure here, the safety of everybody, so safety in numbers.
Absolutely.
Epic.
Well, as you can see, this is an extremely breathtaking scenery and environment. Like I said, from Mosul to the Nineveh Plains, we'll be traversing through Erbil, the oldest continuously inhabited city in the world. And we'll get along a bit more into details about that journey. But are you wanting to get involved in somehow? We've got 4 key ways, and the one we really want to talk to you about today is the ability to join Mario and I as part of 5 ultra endurance runners to join us in Iraq. We've coined this the humanitarian 100 miler, and it's going to be a week-long adventure there, a couple days, obviously either side of the 4-day journey. There's just there's just only 5 spots available. That we've got a limited team, like Mario said, we don't have a huge entourage, and we don't have much of a budget to do this. So we want this to be a way in which we can raise funds and awareness for the work to serve these incredible, courageous waymakers for in our work with You Belong. So if you're unable to make, you've already got other events, or if you're not able or not ready just yet to participate in the IRAQ100 with us, you can fund the run. We're looking for $20,000 to help us. We've got drone footage, we've got VR and documentary production that'll be taking place on this. So it's going to be captured in high quality, and there's a lot of logistics and travel and you could imagine what goes into being able to go over there. And so we're looking for $20,000 to help make this possible. And that $20,000 getting us there will enable us to raise the $100,000 for the work that we're doing. And we want all of the funds that we raise through this campaign to go towards the work of You Belong, like Mario said, to actually go to having an impact and not to cover these costs of the event, but to actually go directly to the work that we're doing. So that's why we're asking for that. And of course, you can follow along. Even now, you can follow my Instagram. You get training updates. Mara and I have obviously this podcast, the One Percenters podcast, where we'll be sharing intermittently. But the number one place to go to follow along now, where we'll also be sharing details about the live stream when we're over there. But go and follow me at Timothy K. Buxton on Instagram. And then a little bit later on, there is the movement challenge called Move to Belong that will be happening simultaneously while they're there. So there's ways that you can run and partner with your friends, mates, on your own, with your school. So all the information is there. You can jump on the QR code to get more details about each of these steps. The one thing we really want to focus on today, Mario, is a call to the ultra running community that you are very much a part of. Help talk us through the details here of what it means to conquer a humanitarian 100-mile.
For us, this is an opportunity for everybody who wants to join. It's a huge opportunity to make a change themselves, learn a hell of a lot about themselves. I can guarantee you, people will get proper coaching as well. There's going to be guidance, but this is unique. The humanitarian 100-miler.
And for anyone anyone in the community, of the running community, that is looking for that kind of challenge, I can't even stress this enough. There is no place on this earth. The journey, the transformation from the Mosul, Nineveh plains to the Zagros mountain ranges, it's like Switzerland up there, and it's the scorching desert, and you are passing through the city of Erbil, the oldest continuously inhabited city of the world, the birthplace of civilization. And we're not just sprinting through, we're going to breaking this up into 4 days, and you will experience and immerse yourself in this journey in a way that, like you said, is rich and unique. So break it down for those people that, you've done 17 of these kinds of
not
runs.
Not 100 miles, but a few. Yeah, look, I think it's a little bit different to a normal event. A normal event, you would run 100 miles and start and then finish, hopefully after 100 miles at the finish line. Here we had to, because it's a route that is so interesting that we don't want to miss certain spots. We don't want to miss meeting people, the local tribes, the tribal leaders as we cross borders, starting from Mosul all the way to the Iranian border. And we also don't want to miss the scenery, because at the end of the day, ultra runners run. And most of us run because we love it, but we also love the mountains and the outdoors and the scenery, of course. And this is what we wanted to incorporate, So the ability to run 100 miles doesn't necessarily have to be done in one hit. So there'll be, every night we'll be resting, hopefully, recuperating. With the limited, resources we will have, we will max that out. And getting prepared for this event will be done by us as well. So obviously we'll be guiding people along in a professional manner to get them ready. I mean, are we ever ready? Probably not. But because that only we stop us from being ready, because we tell ourselves that we could have trained more, we could have been in the gym longer and all this kind of stuff, and lifted heavier and eaten even healthier and hydrated even more. But at the end of the day, how other than going to do it will we ever find out if we're ready? So yeah, this is definitely, we're going to be helping people along. There's going to be a really nice community that we're going to be building around it. I've even started a group on Strava already. So people, please go and have a look for it. It's called the IRAQ100. So yeah, we're up for it. We're ready. There'll be 3 months of guidance and coaching specifically for this. It'll be as personal as possible. This will be included, of course, for the people who sign up. As you can see in the top left-hand corner, all the information you need is there. Over to you, Tim.
Yeah, the details are there, the cost, where exactly you'll be flying into, and we're covering everything, and for those on the ground costs for you, as well as the professional guidance from yourself leading up to it. And for those of you that you really want to help make this happen, it's really those of you that have the heart. Really, we're looking for people with a heart to learn. Again, so often it's just being someone willing to listen and to walk in someone else's shoes, right? Rather than always, and we can be so good at trying to offer help, but more often than not, it's listening to someone's journey and walking in their shoes, and that's what you'll be doing. It'll be an immersive cultural experience. And most importantly, I think it's going to be your own personal journey. And who knows what you'll discover along the way, but I really do believe this could be one of the most meaningful runs that you ever do. And we're looking forward to doing that with a small crew. I'm looking forward to doing that with some friends and some expert and guidance and support from you, Mario. Wouldn't want to have anyone else running alongside, but we've only got a limited number of people. So if you want to apply, you can go to youbelong.org.au, IRAQ100-run. There's a QR code there. And you'll be reaching out to us, and we've just got a few questions and want to get to know you and look forward to if that's you, welcome you into part of this incredible adventure. It cannot wait for September to come around. We've still got 4 months until we get there, and so time is short, so make sure you jump on quickly. Again, there's only 5 limited spots. Like it says at the top there, not every ultra changes lives, but this one will.
People, have a good think. Let this sink in. This means a lot for a lot of people. And the effort we will put in is 100% minimum to make this as meaningful as possible. Memory for a lifetime. Not every ultra changes lives. This one will.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Until next time.
Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to the One Percenters podcast. That's a wrap for another episode. And we're proud to be recording from Australia on Kombumerri and Gadigal country. And we honour the traditions and knowledge of the First Nations people and pay our respects to elders, past and present. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review. We want to hear from you, your questions or topics you would like us to cover, and you can easily do that in the Spotify app. And for those of you that are ready to discover your peak performance edge today, just head on over to our website. That is topp.coach, that's TOPP.coach, and start unlocking your unlimited potential with us today. We would love to work with you. And that's it for now. Until next time, what are you waiting for?